Hi, my name is Beth, and I am the owner-operator of Moongate Studios, and I have a lot of multi-talented creative. I do a lot of different things. I initially started off with in comics and doing artwork and things like that. I've been drawing since I was very, very small. And my father, he was a writer. I do say was, and I was I was the only child in my family. So eventually, my father passed on, and when he did, he left me his literary legacy, which meant taking up the mantle, shifting a bit from creating comics and publishing comics and artwork and that sort of thing, to now I found myself in the realm of the publishing world, and I took bits and pieces of what I learned from publishing comics and working in the comics industry, like to the small extent it was like mini comics, so it's, I wasn't working for Marvel or anything like that. I was publishing my own work, and so then from there I ended up shifting into publishing my dad's work. And one of the first things he wrote was this series that he was based off, like, he'd read Tolkien a number of times, so it is your typical Tolkien-esque story. So there's this, and there's like a big folder full of stuff, including like a little duotang that's full of like languages and everything like that. So he created languages. He was also a linguist, so that's why, this whole entire shelf here is all of his books that I also inherited as well. They go into like languages and history of war and that sort of thing. So basically, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to take one of the shorter stories. I'm not gonna read a really long one for you guys. There's like also poems in here. So let me just find something. Like some of these poems are basically like eddas, so they're a couple pages long, and I don't know that I want to do that. Let's see here. Okay. Now, I've already published some of this. You can find some of this in Guardian of the Sword, and also, wait, oh my gosh, Crystal Crown. This copy. Crystal Crown, Guardian of the Sword, and also The Ring and the Rod. These are all stories that take place in the same world, but they all have their own story arc and conclusion. There's more short stories, as I was showing you. Like the file folder is full of short stories. As you can see, hold on, I'm going to hold up the poem I'm going to read today. As you can see, it's written on like this is really fine paper that you can't get anymore. It's onion skin, essentially. It's what they used to use a lot for typing, and this is all on a typewriter. So it's hand typed, everything like that, like on one of those manual typewriters that you can see in the antique stores. One of those. All typed like that. So I've had to, anything I do with this story, I have to scan in, and then I have to run it through OCR to try and translate it from picture to text, and then I have to go through again with the original paper here and go over to make sure that everything is correct. Everything is still correct, because you'll end up with the OCR, which is character recognition, and it basically, it only is so well, it works so well. So you have to kind of still go through and write and like fill in and rewrite some of the things, because sometimes it'll make O's look like 8s, or it'll put in it'll imagine a whole entire word for you. So you have to kind of go back in, and this is not AI. This is long before AI was a thing. This is optical character recognition. Very, very old technology, but it's still the only technology we have for this type of thing. So I could type it in, but I also wanted to scan it in. So I had a photostat copy of this, so that in case something should ever happen to this, I have a digital copy that I can print out again, so that the words are not lost. Anyway, with all this preamble, I'm going to read a quick short poem. The farewell of the elder folk to the questers. Hasten on your quest, wide walkers of mortal men. Vandethere looks forth again. Shadows lengthen, hope wanes. Danger unknown lies before thee. War, doom, and death dealing behind. Fate lies on what you do, our fate, and the ending of our days among men. Use well the bright swords. Let thy knowledge guide thee. Go with our good wishes. May the high ones watch thee. And then below, it is all written in some Shimrutha. So I don't speak Shimrutha yet. I am working on it, but the pronunciations I'm not good at the pronunciations yet, so I have to practice this. But I will get it, and then once I'm able to speak Shimrutha, then I will start reading in Shimrutha as well as the English. But I gave you the English translation, which is all you need for today. Anyway, thank you for looking at my thread, and have a happy convention. Okay, talk to you in a bit.